The Matt Stafford trade, I just don't get it, and I don't buy it for a second. I don't know why that's a rumor or why that's out there. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like Cooper Kupp, I kind of understand. I don't understand the Matt Stafford stuff. Like I really don't. Because what's the plan next? You're going to turn it over to who? Jimmy G or Stetson Bennett? Like that one doesn't make any sense to me. That feels like.
Well, the other thing is everyone's so nice in Minnesota. I mean, I'm not sure they're going to put up with a quarterback who lets a photographer fall off the stand. And not help her up.
Dang. Jeez.
What?
Do we have an update where are they at now type deal?
Oh, the camera lady that fell off the stage.
Or her spine. Probably was broken from that.
Yeah.
Lee, can you find her whereabouts? No, I don't mean like actually bring her in studio for an interview. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'll look into it.
Hey, Lee, did you ever find my overall record too?
On Quinn's Wins?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so. Dang. Hey, Lee, if I asked you, though, where the nearest liquor store is to the studio right now, would you know that?
Yeah, World Wines of the World.
That's right.
Dang.
Right. Thanks, Lee.
Dang. Wines of the world.
Got to know our limitations.
Dang.
Like it was like he was insulted you would even ask you that. Yeah, Wines of the World, duh.
Yeah, sorry, I was just seeing if you had that part of your job, where you help prepare us for the show, but yeah.
I got it here somewhere.
Thanks, man.
Oh, man. So, hey, look, it feels like a bounce back night. Feels like everything's going to go fine. But yeah, the rumblings about potential trades for the LA Rams. And it's funny Minnesota's been brought up. Has Sam Darnold had a bad game this year? Like a game you could look at in Minnesota and be like, "Ooh, God, yeah, that's the one we recognize from New York." Like I don't think he has. Like they've been.
He didn't play well enough for them to win this past game.
Yeah, but I mean, like he played well enough to have him in that game.
They were in the game,
and
they were in position to win.
Yeah, and it was a field goal late.
I mean, he was pretty damn good. He completed like 80% of his passes.
Wasn't good enough.
I mean, he's played better than Matt Stafford this year.
Yeah.
Still wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
I mean, how good is the Rams stink too?
But that's the surprising thing about the whole report that the Rams would be, looking at Stafford and trading him to the Vikings is, how does that come out? Is there interest from the Vikings? Like, I understand O'Connell is there. There's familiarity with the offense. They probably feel like, hey, this dude's won a Super Bowl. He's, put himself in a position to be a Hall of Famer. Yeah, we'd like to bring that on a roster. But like watching Darnold, it's not like he's leaving plays out there. It doesn't feel like it. I mean, their win over the Jets was probably the worst he's played this season. If you're talking about Sam Darnold, his play. But I sit there and look at this and I just go, all right, I mean, maybe they look at the past 2 weeks, they're 1-1. They didn't win versus Detroit, and they're looking at and being overly critical about that. And they look at the Jets game and say, we feel like he really didn't play well that game. It doesn't make any sense why the Vikings would be interested. With J.J. McCarthy as the future and Sam Darnold as the here and now, I don't get it, man. Like, I could see it from the Rams' perspective, but I cannot see it from the Vikings.
Yeah.
I agree.
A little off.
I don't think you're upgrading by doing that. And Sam Darnold, he could be like that type of quarterback. Like, I'm trying to think of the right example, but like a retread guy that ends up being your starter for quite
Rich
some
Gannon.
time. Rich Gannon's a good one. Yeah. That's a good great. Like in my mind, I was thinking like, is it like a Jake Delhomme? Is it a Tommy Maddox? Something like that. Like that's a little bit more extreme, maybe, of an example.
I think the more interesting question would be at the end of this year, if they continue to play well, they're a playoff team. Not saying they're a Super Bowl team, but playoff team, and he's had a good year.
What do you do with McCarthy?
Then the conversation becomes like, how do you let him walk out the door after a successful
How do you
year
take
like
his
that?
Starting job away?
Yeah, for the
how do you justify that?
For the unknown with
you know
J.J.
what I mean?
McCarthy.
That's a hard one.
Yeah.
Because he's not old.
No.
He's not old.
He drafted in 2018.
So it's kind of it would be a good question to have to answer because you have a whole entire rookie contract. I mean, it could turn into a Jordan Love situation. You would want that. I'm telling you, you don't want to ruin your quarterbacks based off of, like the rush factor. You don't want to just rush them in. And if you could hold on and you're still competitive to try to win a Super Bowl, and you give that first rounder an opportunity to really mature, develop, and grow into being a real professional and I would say that for most any position, to be honest, if you're able to give them that type of time, you're doing something right. So, I mean, they might have stumbled onto something pretty special with Sam Darnold and with the type of personnel that they have, if they're able to hold everything together. I mean, this could be a pretty good team, pretty doggone good team. I mean, it's crazy that they got to be in the same division as Detroit. It's crazy even saying that you're in the same division as Detroit, because you're going to have to contend with, and for what it's worth, I think Green Bay is going to be that team as well. You got a very competitive NFC North. And if I can be competitive with Sam Darnold the way he's playing right now, and he earns it, that's a hard one to justify, saying, okay, we're going to go from you back to the original draft pick that we were thinking we were going to use.